Hey guys, today I'll be doing a Western snowplow install. The frame portion of it on my 2019 F-250. As far as I know, this will be the same on the 350, and that's from 2017 and up. Not sure about the 20, so check with your Western manuals and website possibly. Maybe they'll have that information. But I got the frame portions, got the crossbar, the two supports that go underneath the sway bar. What we're gonna do right now, we're gonna jack up the truck. I've got regular jack stands that I'll be using also, but I cut up some blocks, some 6x6s and 4x4s. I like to get a lot more safety out of it, I guess. So we'll have to jack it up. This way that sway bar is gonna be loose and the truck is gonna be high up in the air because we'll have to drop that sway bar down in order to put those mounts in. So first, I'll go ahead and jack it up, and then we'll start by removing the front bumper. Very simple. I'll show you right now step by step how to do that. But you're going to want to do that because you're going to have to take off these two mounts. They're metal flares that mount up to the frame. Those will have to come out in order for the Western plow mount to get hooked up. So let's get to it. Okay, so everything's jacked up. I got enough blocks, my jack stand, extra security, and the wheels are about ½ inch off the ground. This way when I drop that sway bar, there's not gonna be any tension on it. In order to take off the front bumper, you have 4 bolts right here on each side of this hook, on each side of the bumper. So 4 left side, 4 right side, and then we're gonna remove those 2 bolts right there. Those are 15 millimeter. The ones in the front, those are 18 millimeter. So we'll remove those 2, and that connects this bracket, the whole bumper, to that portion of the frame. So I've got my my ratchet. We got an impact gun. If you have a air one, that's good to use. I have this, so that'll speed up the process. If you don't, you got the ratchet right there, and I'll actually am going to be using that ratchet for this portion right here. It's hard to get in there with that impact gun, so I'll use that ratchet right there in order to get into those. All right, let's get going. Grab my 18 millimeter. There's a bracket that is on the back that'll fall out. Looks like that. That's what mounts the bumper to the frame. Make sure you don't lose any of that stuff. Okay, so I'll leave that 1 bolt like that. Won't take it off completely. I'll do the other side right now, and then I'll do that one. So it is better to have an extra set of hands if you have them. You get a hand with a bumper. It is a bit heavy, but it's the fact that it's big. It's a lot harder, but I'm going to attempt to do this by myself. So I'll do this side first. Take that out. Kind of stays, still hangs a little bit, so that's nice. I'll put my knee underneath the bumper. There we go, the bracket just fell out. Actually, it's hanging out right on the hooks, not too bad. Grab it on top, slide it out. I'm gonna need my ratchet here. There's a couple of pipes here for hoses for power steering cooler, it looks like, and possibly transmission cooler. So I'll need to use this. They can't get to it with my impact gun. So they are molded together. Hopefully we'll be able to use them. Let's try it. Yep, we'll be able to use these same bolts. Nice. Pop the other one out. There we go, that slides out. So keep that. If you're ever gonna remove the frame, the snowplow, put these back on. But you will have cuts, have to make cuts in the plastic below the bumper, that valance. So you'll have to get a new one if you're ever gonna remove the plow mount and reinstall these and get yourself a new valance for the bottom of the bumper. You don't want anybody to know that you had a plow, or that's just the way you want to trade it in and whatnot, whatever your situation is. Let me go get the other side and I'll jump underneath and drop that sway bar. So now we'll drop the sway bar here, 15 millimeter. Put my gloves on. Some grease here, so figured keep my hands clean if I can for a little bit. Okay. Alright, so that's loose. Do the other side. That drops down like that. So the other thing that I didn't mention yet is you gotta loosen this cross bar right here between the frame horns, because that's where this is gonna get mounted. So it's also 15 millimeter. Two nuts on both sides. I'm not going to take it off completely, but there is a bracket that I'll need to take out in order to put that mount in. Lift these pipes out of the way, kind of up, and have to take that out. You'll have to push those pipes up, and then you have the radiator hose, the 2-inch. It's in the back too. You have to push it out of the way. And you could slide that out. Okay, so I got both the frame mounts, those small ones, back on there. Just tighten it with your fingers, and then we'll tighten it back when everything's on. So I'm putting the sway bar back in over those bolts. Now I'm going to take the frame mount and hang it on this bracket right here. So I bought all of one size, 1.5 inches. You probably could get away with 1 inch on this particular one, but I bought everything 1.5 inches, 1/2 inch thickness, and my washers, my nuts. So I'll pick up this frame, and it slides on the inside. You put it on the inside of of that frame. So, there we go. I guess if you want to use a washer, you can use a washer. We've got plenty. I'll do that. Washer on both sides. Yeah, that'll work better. This way, when we're tightening them up, that bolt is not going to go sideways. This 1.5 inches actually works perfect. You get just enough thickness. So I did that. Now slide this frame up. Slides right over. So we'll need 2 more bolts right here for this side. So I'll just prep those real quick. Slide that up. I'm going to use washers on everything, both sides. It'll be a lot better. Okay, so I've got those 2 on. Now you want to do the same thing on the other side. And before we do that, I'll quickly just put these bolts back in. The ones that are together, molded together. I'll just reuse the factory ones as opposed to using those. And these are, yeah, so these are about 1 inch. Right here, the ones I have 1.5 inches. So if you can reuse these, go ahead and reuse them. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, actually, I can't do it. My bad. I didn't realize they are a lot shorter and there's not enough room to put the nut on. So I am gonna have to use, yeah, I'm gonna have to use everything new. Okay, so I'll go ahead and use these, the 1.5 inch ones that I have. Because these are 1 inch and it's just not enough for the thread. Grab one. Yeah, that'll work. It'll work very well, the 1.5 inch ones. You could go to a 2 inch, that'll still be okay, but this 1.5 inch will work. And I'll do the same thing on this outside here. Okay, so after you got all these bolts in, just put that one in also. Once you got all of them in, you'll take your crossbar right here, the flat top up and the holes to the front. You're gonna put it behind the mount here. Put your bolt in. Other side. So there's 4 altogether. Put them in right away. Okay, once you got that in, so this is kind of the whole setup, right? What I'm gonna start tightening first is this cross member. Level this bracket portion that comes out. Level it with that crossbar. Just eyeball it. That way it's level on both sides. So you can move it back and forth. Make sure it's level and then start tightening them up. Once this is all tight, then we'll start tightening the back. Tighten up the sway bar bracket. Then move to the front here. Do that. When you're tightening them up, just move it around. This will be already flat, so you'll be moving around the whole frame. And this way everything is gonna go in nice and straight. And that's it. So let's start tightening this stuff up. Wrench. We have 19. I have 19 millimeters. So whatever bolts you're gonna use, grab that. Grab your socket, ratchet, or in this case, an impact. Line the bracket up. I'll do the one side first, and then go to the other side. This way it's nice and straight. Move these a little bit. There we go. Just make sure that's flat, because you want your plow to line up very well. That way it'll slide in nice and easy without much effort. There we go. That's good. So it looks like I have to push this frame out a little bit to the outside, the bottom. That'll make that go in better. I'll just tighten it up just a little bit. And I'll do the other side so I can level everything off. Okay, I've got everything bolted on, everything tight. Went through twice just to kind of check and recheck all the bolts and nuts. Got the cross member all hooked up. So the only thing I have left is just putting the bumper back. So this is the final result of that install. As you can see, I put my wires, all 3 plugs, right underneath the bumper, behind it, and then behind the grill. That's why I took that grill off. It was much easier to have those wires sit right behind that grill next to the radiator, and then right through here. They're actually lengthwise, they're just enough to connect. So right here, they're not gonna flap lower than this this hook here, and I just like to tuck them in this way if I'm going ever through a car wash or something. That way no water gets into it. And then my cutouts right there for the valance, as you can see, it's about 4.5 inches wide that I did, and about 1 inch above. I should have probably just done it a little bit lower, but it's not that big of a deal if I'm gonna ever take the frames off, sell the truck or whatnot, keep the frame and the frame mount. I'll just replace that valance. It's not too expensive, so that's what it is. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. This way you can install your own frame of the Western plow on a F-250 2017 to 2019, but I believe 2020 is the same frame. You should be able to do it that way also. But hopefully it helps. Like the video. Check out some of my other videos on the building channel, where I do all sorts of building and remodeling, and from time to time I do some automotive work such as this one. Subscribe, like the videos, and we'll see you next time.